Excuse me. Good morning. I'm trying to make sure that my music is not too loud. That might be good enough. Oh, good morning. It is September 24th. I think I have not been on here maybe since last Sunday or the Monday before last. I'm not sure, but I'm here now. Happy Sunday. Um, I woke up. The idea was to, excuse me, go to church and yeah, I'm here. Took a shower, washed my face, brushed my teeth, got myself together, and then the listen. I'm gonna be honest. The weather just messes me up, and I should not have let that stop me. But I also knew that I wanted to do a video. So here I am. Thank you for cruising with Key. I am Key, Kei. Um, I have been in a very welcome to fall. We are in a new season. Um, Yesterday was a very tough day for me. I was definitely going to do a video because I was like, I don't think I've done one this week, but I had a rough day. And I have just been pushing myself. I don't know no other way to function but to just push myself. I mean, oftentimes I know, excuse me, you need to just stop and have a break, have your moment, um, rest. Um, but I knew that with all that I have going on, that I needed to share this. And yeah. I'm dragging. I can feel it. Um, but I'm very much aware of how I feel. So oftentimes when I'm not like literally directly looking at the camera, that's because I'm not ready to face, you know, what I am about to share. Um, I don't think that y'all know how difficult this is. I've been told that I make it easy. I've been told that this is my lane. I should have been done this. I need a podcast, things of that nature. Um, Maybe, but this is hard. AF. It's so hard. Um, it's hard because I realize I don't like being vulnerable. I don't. Oh. I don't know who told me that being vulnerable makes you weak, makes you feel stupid and dumb, but it has been instilled in me for a very long time. And as loving as I am, as catering and nurturing and giving and encouraging and supportive I am and can be, I'm not really a vulnerable person. Or maybe in those moments I'm thinking I'm being vulnerable. I don't know. Um, I do know that I just don't like being vulnerable because I feel like somebody is about to take advantage of that. And I also don't want to come off as this pity party. So Yeah. I remember growing up. I remember growing up, and if I expressed something, I was called a liar. Um, I was called a hypochondriac. And I think that that has stayed with me all of my life, that I'm a hypochondriac. So I can't share stuff because who's going to believe me? I'm lying. I'm a hypochondriac. Um, but I'm nothing. I am nothing, nothing. And you are nothing like what somebody said you were as a child. You are who you are. Your feelings are valid. I came on here to talk about a video that I saw on YouTube, um, which ties into what I've been sharing about childhood trauma. And it tore me up. It was a Kirk Franklin video titled Father's Day. And I'm like, why is this out? Father's Day was June. What's happening? And it was 35 minutes. And I was like, okay, well, this ain't gonna be long. Shoot, I do videos about 30 minutes. And I promise I don't be meaning to, but it happens. But at any rate, um, I watched it, and it took me probably a whole entire day to get myself together. I still don't think that that I'm together. It takes me a while. I can't watch something to just watch it. I am one of those who, if I'm watching something like an interview, I'm listening intently. I am intentional listening to see what you're saying, where you're coming from, where do I relate? Can I learn something? Things of that nature. And I have to share with you all how it affected me a great deal because, oh gosh, I told y'all that I've been in a very tough season lately that started like mid-summer. Um, Now it's the beginning of fall, and I'm still in this season. Um, Watching that video just reminded me of how I feel some people will never get or understand. People that grew up like us, that grew up without family, that grew up without your parents, that grew up with people in your life who deny you, who abuse you, and who treat you like you did something wrong. This is why you're in this. And I have always struggled with being accepted. And oftentimes I feel like I don't have nobody to talk to about it aside from my therapist. Because I really don't know many people, not many, that have experienced what I have. That's a part of my life. Um, so watching that, mm, made me feel like somebody gets it. Somebody understands why I am the way that I am, why I love God with every fiber in my being, why I hold on close to people who I feel like really belong in my life, why I really hate letting people that I truly love and cherish go. I just felt seen. Even watching a YouTube video, even watching a YouTube video, I felt seen. But you gotta watch it. Again, it's called Father's Day. Um, by Kirk Franklin, and he's actually talking about how all of his life he thought that this one man was his father, to the point where they had a conversation prior to his death where he wanted to just be free from how he was feeling, and whole time that man wasn't his father. This is called More Than I Can Bear, God's Property and Kirk Franklin. um it seems a little loud, so I just turned it down, because I want you to hear me. Hold on. I just turned it off. I mean, I didn't turn it off, it's just muted because I just feel like I'm talking over it. God give me strength like only you know how. Um, and he was at, and there was something going on, a church service, a funeral, or something, and a really close friend of his had reached out to him and said, "This man reminds me of you." And some way, somehow, it got back to the guy, and um he ended up taking a paternity test, and it was like 99.9% that he was Kirk's father. Kirk called his mom. She like, "What? I don't believe you." They take another one, and same results. His mother still denied that this was this man's father. She still denied the truth. And whew, Kirk was hurt. I was hurt. I could not believe how, like, even after all these years, Kirk is 53. Even 53 years later, you still just gonna keep this secret? Like, you still hiding stuff. Like, at this point, this man, your son, is yearning to just know all of him, everything, and you still just holding on for your own selfish reasons. And it just reminds me so much of me and my family and my life, and how there's so many untold stories, and how there's so many secrets that people have yet to share, and you're treated a certain way, like you did something wrong. And in this video, you can see his aunt, which is his mom's sister, treat him like he's a kid. And in those moments, you can hear him say, like, there's times he definitely spoke up for himself. And then there's times he's like, well, let me respect my aunt, you know. And then he shared how he just felt like he was just that little boy again. And I just was like, I know how you feel. There are often times, oh my gosh, more times than I like to admit, that I find myself in situations, and I'm that little girl that just want certain things. Um, one of the things I literally wrote notes. This literally says September 17th. I'm not lying. Like I've been really dealing with this. I needed to see that. I've watched it several times, but I titled this Who Am I Well? Cause all who am I? Well, because I've only known me broken. And when he said that, I pressed pause and I was no good because I've told you all several times that I'm doing this so that I can be healed in a way that it's even unrecognizable to me. Um, I'm on this journey to really deal with trauma. And I told you all that I had to be honest about walking around with a lot of pain. And I know again it sounds weird because of the kind of person that I am, especially how I treat people, but I treat people how I want to be treated. So I'm not going to treat you. I can't do it. And I know people that are like that. There's no way I can treat you how I feel. I feel horrible if I was to do it. Now, there are times that people have treated me a certain way. They made me feel a certain way, and I'm going to make you feel way worse than that. That's not okay. Um, and I feel bad when I do it. I really, I'm not a perfect person. Nobody is perfect. I really do care about how I make other people feel. Um, and of course, not just because I care, because that's who we should be, but also because I don't want nobody to feel how I feel sometimes, and I don't want nobody to go through nothing that I've gone through or even what I endured to this day. There are people, Lord, please forgive me. There are people that I can't stand on this earth. I still wish that they don't go through nothing that I have, nothing that I am. I wish the best for everybody. Um, that's the God in me. But when he said, Who am I well? Because I've only known me broken, really, really, really resonated with me because imagine me doing all this work. Imagine me being healed from all of this trauma. Just imagine. He has a song, Imagine Me. Imagine me. What? Imagine me being free, totally free. Just imagine being totally free from anything that I've endured. I got to look that up. I'm sure that I have it. I guarantee you I have that song in my library, but it's where I am. Just imagine, imagine. And I am told you one thing I ain't gonna do is lie and play. I know that I have it because I believe in um I believe in just and this song is what 2008 May 6 2008. I told you I've been doing the work for a very long time. 2008 I was 28 years old. Um so I mean it when I say what I say. Imagine me being well and not broken. And that's the place that I want to go. I don't want to be broken anymore. I don't want to be broken. I don't. One thing that he said was you become indoctrinated in your trauma. I told you I took notes. And you do. And I think that that was me. I really do think that my trauma define me, and that's a problem. Your trauma should never define you. Where you've been ain't where you going, and it's not who you are. It's what you've experienced. So I've experienced a lot of trauma. I've experienced a lot of chaos. I've experienced a lot of turmoil, but that doesn't mean that that's who I am. That doesn't mean that it should lie dormant like a disease. That's not what that means. So if you find yourself in a place where you just feel stuck and stagnant in a broken place, please, I beg of you to come out. You got to come out. It's time for that caterpillar to come out of the cocoon and become a butterfly. I cannot stop talking about being a butterfly. I can't. I can't. Because if you pay attention to how a butterfly is formed, that reminds me of who I am, or who I yearn to be. I got a long way to go. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I used to think that because I have a career and because I take care of all of my things and I'm stable, you know, um, that I'm good. That defined it me. No, Pooh, you did what you had to do to take care of yourself. But now I need you to go deep, go deep, go deep. Because another thing that he said was you become institutionalized by your trauma. That was me. I cannot say is. I'm always going to say was because I'm in a place of healing. I'm in a place of chopping down this wall. I used to always say, you know, people that are closed off are stuck in a bubble. I don't think that I've realized how much I've been in a bubble. I I remember when I got married and everybody was like, what? One person in particular, when I sent a text and was like, I said yes, she was the first person to FaceTime me. She needed to really see for herself. No, you didn't. One, I had just started dating in July. So for me to say yes in December, everybody like, what? And that's literally because I was never the kind of person that felt obligated to be in a relationship with somebody. I never felt the urge to really settle down and be in a committed relationship because I always felt like you're not going to be here for a long time. So why would I waste my time? And it sucks that I became that closed off person because I probably, no, 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 it doesn't suck that I was that person. I think that it's a beautiful thing that I was that person because I wanted to make sure that I was straight. I didn't play with me. You can't just come in here and be a part of my life and think that I'm about to be a part of yours and we good and we about to ride to the sunset. No, who are you? Do you know who I am? And one thing I've never really done when I got in relationships, I never talked about my childhood. Cause what you about to do? You gonna run with it? The one time that I did, we would get into it. I was in a relationship. I was what 32 going on 33. That was my first real adult relationship. And we started to talk about, because he was very close with his mom. So we would talk about him and his mom relationship, and he would ask certain questions and stuff. And he used it against me. Like we would get into arguments and stuff, and he would be like, well, of course you would respond like this because A, B, C, and D, or um, this relationship is like this because you need therapy, you need counseling, you need to get over some stuff, and yada yada yada. And yeah, I do need to get over some stuff. I do need counseling, but we all do. But that ain't got nothing to do with what's actually happening in this relationship. That's not fair. And so after that, I was like, no, you get to make a decision about who I am based on what we're building. Don't throw up in my face that I've been abandoned and I've been used and I've been rejected and stuff. So that's why I am the way that I am. Some of it could have been some truth, but that ain't you cannot create your own mindset about who I am instead of really getting to know me better, not from where I come from. Get to know who I am. Now, you got to know where people came from. You got to, but y'all know what I mean. He just kept throwing it in my face and it was bad. But another thing that Kirk said was love is a muscle that has to be trained. And if it's never been trained, just because you got introduced to it doesn't mean that you know how to receive it. Love is a muscle that has to be trained. And if it's never been trained, just because you got introduced to it doesn't mean you know how to receive it. Nobody in my life taught me how to love. Love has been trial and error for me. Um, so I know that the way that I love, I've been told that I'm a rare breed in a good way. Thank you, God. But I think that a lot of who I am is because of trial and error. It is because I have never been trained on nothing. I wasn't really raised. Um, I was never really taught anything. I've told y'all that I've lived with my cousin, and that's who introduced me to God. And I think that reading the Bible has helped me love people in the manner in which I do. Um, Being in love with God and being in love with myself has also helped me um, love people in the manner in which I do. But nobody taught me how to love. And so I know that I struggle with receiving love in ways that may seem foreign to me. Um, um, he also said the pattern. This is hard, y'all. This is very hard to open up and just want to. I can't stop talking about freedom. I can't stop talking about freedom. I don't think that people understand as strong as I am. I'm like a jelly bean a Tootsie Roll Pop, a Blow Pop. I am very hard on the outside. I have to be. I feel like I had no choice. I oftentimes still feel like I have no choice. But if you really get to know me and you get to the middle of that jelly bean or a Tootsie Pop or a blow pop, it is very gooey, mushy. It's very soft. Um, it's like a pleasant treat. Ah, yes, I feel like I am a pleasant treat. And the sad part about it is it took me years to understand that I'm really a pleasant treat. And that's why I really want to break down that outside so that this little light of mine really can shine. Um, because can't nobody see a pearl in the shell. You gotta open up the shell. A oyster, you guys. um, you have to open up in order to really see the beauty of the inside of something. You can't just look at a book and be like, "Ooh, this is a good title." And then you just start flipping through, be like, "Oh, look at all these pictures and stuff. This is nice. This is nice." You're not going to enjoy it truly, fully until you really read it. You got to read through it. Thanks, Mo. Thank you so much. Thank you. I promise to listen to Broken But I'm Healed by Byron Cage. And I thank you for your comment. Thank you for those who's viewing. Thank you for commenting. Um, I'm going to end soon, I promise. One thing, the last thing that I see that I wrote says the pattern of trauma is a very difficult pattern to try to rewrite. Me and my mouth. The pattern of trauma is a very difficult pattern to try to rewrite. It's because not only those that are in the struggle that are trying to rewrite it, but when you have systematic issues that sometimes encompass those who are trying to rewrite and rework, it can make the battle more difficult. And I knew in that moment he was talking about, his mom and how she just really refused to be honest, and how he was like, until she really is ready to be what he needs her to be, then he needed to cut her off in some ways. I can't be who you want me to be if you can't be what I need you to be. It takes two to have a relationship. It takes two to build. It takes two to heal. If you read the Bible, God, you're good. It tell you, if you well, even if you don't read the Bible, if you know about Noah's Ark, you ever ask yourself why it was two? Two of every animal. Two of every animal. Two of every animal. Even the Bible says man should not live by bread alone. He put Adam to sleep, took a rib out of him, made a woman. The Bible also says where two or three are gathered, God is in the midst. You can't do nothing by yourself. Nothing. I can't go from a broken place to a well place by myself. It's just not going to happen. And I had to really realize that while I was writing my book. I had to realize that you can write this all day. You can try this healing all day with this book. But when you going to talk to somebody, when you going to let this stuff out, when you going to be free emotionally. Now, let me tell y'all something. When you are healed and when you're dealing with trauma and stuff, you're nobody said that you was going to die perfect. Okay? I can die today or tomorrow. The beauty of me passing away right now is that I died knowing and willing and openly doing some work to be a better me. God knows my heart. I've often said several times that I wish my heart was on the outside and not on the inside so people can really see the real me. Um, but the only way that people can really see the reflections of your heart is to tear down these walls, pick up those broken pieces and make it well. Pick them up piece by piece by piece by piece. Healing is a puzzle. What you gonna do with the pieces? Are you gonna sweep them under the rug? Or you gonna put them in a little dustpan and then toss them and never deal with it? Or are you gonna pick it up and say, okay, well, where does this fit? And sometimes you need some glue. Because sometimes the puzzle ain't paper. Sometimes the puzzle ain't the pieces that you put together like a real puzzle. Sometimes it's glass. It's something that's so broken that you need some you need a glue gun. This is my glue gun. This is my glue gun. Cruising with Key is my glue gun. It is putting pieces together for me to be well. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well. It is well. That's my desire. It's for all things to be well. Come what may. It is well. Please, I urge you to watch the Kirk Franklin Father's Day. If you are a near dear friend of mine, I want you to watch it. If you care about me in any capacity, I want you to watch it because I think that it might not just help you, never know what you've experienced, but it'll also help you understand me just a little bit more. I loved it. It was awesome. And it just reminds me of all these gifts and talents that I have, and now I know why. It's I wish that I used it, but it's never too late. Kirk 53, I'm 43. So never know where I'll be in 10 years. Thank you for cruising with Key. I really appreciate you. Um, it's Sunday. Happy Sunday. Have a good fun day. Go to church. I'm going to view online. I go to Union Temple Baptist Church and I attend on YouTube. But if you want to go, 1225 W Street, Southeast Washington, D.C. 1225 W Street, Washington, D.C. every single Sunday at 9:30 a.m. One service, one band, one sound. Go ahead and go. Um, you become indoctrinated in your trauma. You become institutionalized by your trauma. Deal with it. Deal with it. Because when you deal with it, you get to love on yourself even more. And you get to allow other people to love on you even more. Accept it. I deserve it. You deserve it. And yes, I'm getting closer to you so that you can understand that you deserve it because I deserve it. We all deserve it. Love, joy, peace, care, some hugs, some affection. I don't care if your parents didn't do it. You do it. You change the narrative. That's what my heart desires. Okay? Imagine me being free. Imagine you being free. Just imagine. We on our way to freedom. Believe it. Imagine Me by Kirk Franklin. They was all about Kirk Franklin, but it was about me too. I love y'all so much. I think this is the longest video I've ever done. But it had a lot. I had a lot to unpack. And it's still so much more. Um, so stay on this journey with me, okay? I appreciate you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for cruising with Key. Share, like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you subscribe, I bet you'll get a notification every time I'm on here. I love you guys. Have a great week. Enjoy your day. Um, keep me in your prayers. Definitely, please keep me in your prayers. I need it. And nothing specific. Actually, yes, strength, comfort, peace that surpasses all understanding, unspeakable joy. That part. Bye, you guys.